Hey everyone, welcome to the Love Experience Show. I am your host, Ashley J, and I'm so glad you are here with me to watch the Love Experience Show that comes on every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where my guests come on and they talk about their various love experiences. So, as you can see, I have two guests here tonight and I'm super excited. We've been chatting it up, and I can't wait for y'all to get in on some of this conversation. I have Tiffany and Rick Childs, Team Childs, as you can see on their screen. I'm super excited to meet them, and I'm ready to hear their story, just like I know you are. So, before we get started, go ahead and share this episode with 5 people. Tell them, come on and watch with you because you don't want to miss this and they don't want to miss it either. Okay. And also show your support for the Love Experience show on my website is ashleyj.com, where you can get the Love Experience gear and products at your whatever. Because I lost my word. So, Tiffany, Rick, what is your love experience?
I'm Rick.
And I'm Tiff.
And we're Team Child.
Okay, y'all go ahead with the you just said okay.
So the love experience for us actually was God ordained. It was unexpected. And we tell the story all the time. We have different versions. But one of the things was that we both heard from God. God told me I was going to meet my wife.
What do you sound like?
No.
A whisper.
Yes.
Still small voice.
Yeah.
I'm messing with her. Go ahead.
She always does that. But it was just one of those. It was one of those things that I had a normal routine. I worked midnights, and generally I would get ready to leave the job, go home, do it all over again. So this one particular day, I'm in the break room waiting for time to clock out, and this commercial comes on. It's a real estate commercial. I'm just paying attention to it, just kind of killing the time. But I heard God say to me that I was going to meet my wife today, and I got interested in this real estate seminar. It was in Greenbelt, Maryland. And I decided to go. Normally, I would make all the excuses. I'm tired. I got to work the next night. But I end up getting myself to, home, got ready, and I went to this seminar. So, I just go in. Now, when I actually got there, and this is where the story changes. But mine's the best version since you're hearing it first. So I'm gonna give you my version. So when she comes in, you'll understand. So I roll up in Greenbelt. I got this drop top Jag. I roll in and I passed this lady, but I wasn't really paying attention to her. So after I get out my car, I go into the hotel, and I passed by her. I saw her look up, but I really still didn't pay attention to her. I didn't really see her until we got into the building. So at that time, I'm waiting. We're all outside waiting to go in. I see her. The next time she's at a table, she looked like she's looking down. She was studying. And then at that point, I'm gonna stop right here because I know she's gonna add her version, and I want I'm a gentleman, so I'm gonna give her chance. So do it, my queen.
Okay, so I'm taking classes at the college, and I'm a full-time student. So my classes ends at 12. This is just part of the story. But this was at a time where Google wasn't excessive. So before you got on the road, we would look at the news and check the traffic. So I was getting ready for school, and God told me clear as day. Now I am at a point where I am content in my singleness. I'm not thinking about a man. Do you hear me what I say? Like, I had blinders on purpose because I didn't want any distractions. So when I tell you I was minding my business, and it was so it just came from out of anywhere. But God said I was gonna meet my husband in those words, and I chuckled and I was like, "Yeah, right, God, whatever, you know." And I kept it moving because with everything in me, I didn't want to meet anyone because I was a straight A student and I was really focused. And it was me. I was in school and I was mentoring young girls at the time, and that was my life, So straight and narrow at that point of my life. That wasn't always the case. A whole nother story. So God tells me I'm gonna meet my husband. I was like, yeah, right. And then I see a commercial for real estate. I had a mentor mentoring me on real estate properties.
Okay, wait a minute. Time out.
Yes.
Y'all saw the commercial and heard from God on the same day?
Same day.
Wow.
Same commercial. It had to be the same commercial.
Wow. Okay.
So my cousin, she had properties all over the United States, and she was mentoring me. I had 2 loans. I was looking for properties to actually purchase. And she said, anytime you hear any real estate free things coming to your area, go. She said, go and always get as much information. But she said, do not buy their program, but just take a lot of notes, and we will talk about it later. And I said, okay, now I have a spa business as well. So the day before was a Sunday. I met with my graphic design person because she was doing business cards for me. Okay. And we had just sat down at my dining room table Sunday night, and I loved the card, but it had like ink on it and stuff. And she was like, Tiffany, I have to find a printer to print your cards because my printer is smearing ink on it. So I love to talk. I talk to everyone literally that I come in contact with. So I said, okay, if I find one, then I'll let you know as well. That was Sunday. And then Monday, I'm getting ready. I'm gonna hear from God. Then I'm seeing this commercial, and it's so hyper. It's like, yes, we're gonna be in 2 locations. We're gonna be in Greenbelt at 1:00 and Fairfax, Virginia at 7:00. And I was like, well, I don't want to drive way to Fairfax. I said, Greenbelt is right around the corner from the college. Let me just go. My classes ends at 12. Perfect. So left the college. I got there early. So I'm studying. I'm sitting in my car studying. Okay. And I'm the biggest tomboy. So fashion wasn't important to me. Like splashy cars, like none of that was important. A red car passed by, I looked up, then I went back to studying. I'm sitting in my car. So he is like, oh yeah, you saw my car and you wanted me. I was like, that was further from the truth. So as it started getting closer to the time.
Was you at Fairfax or Greenbelt?
I was at Greenbelt.
Because that wasn't the same guy that I know.
What?
So I said, you saw me in my flashy car.
You did
and
say
all
that. You did say that.
Okay.
So so as the time started coming on, and I was like, well, let me go ahead and beat the crowd and be the first one in line, because I wanted to be in the front row. And I was the first one. The lady was like setting up the table and stuff, and I said, ma'am, can I sit down here and actually finish studying and read my book? She said, sure, go ahead. So now I'm getting nosy. I was like, hey, how much is the program? She was like, I'm not allowed to tell you how much the program is. I said, no. I really need you to tell me how much the program is. She was like, it's $4,000. And I said, okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. So I'm studying, and then people are starting to come. So I said, well, let me go ahead and stand. So I'm the first one in line, ready to go in. Somebody's grandmother came and cut in front of me. I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to give her that. I'm going to let her stand in front of me. So then they opened the doors. the front row, the speaker was like walking around. I was like, he gonna be spitting all on me. So I was like, I'm not sitting in the front row. I'm gonna sit in the second row on the end. All these chairs, Ashley, right? Everyone in the audience, all these chairs sitting, right? And I know I'm animated. I'm sorry.
You're good. Keep going.
This one right here, this sir, my earthly king, going to tap me on my shoulders and was like, "Can I sit beside you?" So I'm irritated because it's 500 more chairs and he's gonna come ask me to sit. So I was irritated. So he said I was just all attracted to him and all of that other stuff, which was further from the case. I thought he had worms.
Yeah.
I thought he had worms. So okay. So let me back up a little bit, right? So as a little girl, I remember some women talking because I was a nosy little girl, right? I'm always in these conversations. And I heard some women saying old men had worms, right? So I always if I saw gray hair, I just knew they had worms. I was like, my daddy walking around with worms, or my uncles, like everybody, the neighbors, everybody is around with these worms. So when I met Rick, he had gray, like he was gray, and I was like, ew, he's gray.
So actually, it sounded like this love experience then went to a love explosion. So hold on. I gotta cut in. Because this is like a whole different interview. I'm trying to remember. Was I even at this? Was I there 15 years ago? I'm trying to figure out.
So wait a minute. I just need to say I have not laughed this hard since I had my husband on here with me. Y'all got me cracking up. Okay. So wait, let me ask this real quick. Tiffany, what were you in school for?
Nursing.
Okay. That's why you were intense with studying. Got it. Because you were not putting that book down for anything.
Nothing. I was studying at the stoplights when I was shopping. I had my cue card. I was studying all the time. Called all my girlfriends. Don't call me to go anywhere because I'm not going. Like I shut it all the way down because I was focused and I was in therapy.
Okay.
I was in therapy, so I was doing all the things, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably need therapy after this. So but go ahead.
So I'm annoyed because he asked. So he's sitting. So I'm taking notes. I called my cousin. I was like, "Hey, it's $4,000. Blah blah blah." She didn't answer the phone because she's in California, 3 hours behind. So I left a message. They're talking. I'm taking notes, like really taking notes. Now he's bugging me for some gum. He's on my shoulder again. He was like, "Excuse me, do you have any gum?" I was like, "Dude, like." So I just reached in my bag and said, "Here, have all of the gum," because it was like really irritating to me, right? So
let me get in here a little bit closer because I'm gonna say one thing, Ashley. And it's gonna shut all of that down that you heard that animosity that she's saying. So go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish.
So my cousin calls, so I step out, and she says, "Tiffany, don't buy the thing. He just had a book come out. I just purchased the book. It was $19.99. Take your notes, whatever. Let's talk later." So I was like, "Okay, fine." Listen to it. And they're asking who all want to get the program, so I'm not saying anything. He isn't budging. So afterwards, he's like, "Hey, so what do you think about the program?" I don't know what I'm talking about. All I'm doing is regurgitating everything that my cousin told me. So it looks like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't know what I'm talking about. So we're talking, and in the midst of the conversation, he tells me his sister has a printing company. I said, "Look at God."
Wow.
I'm thinking about my business cards, remember? Because just the day before, she was like, "Hey, I need a printer." So what I tell him, I say, "Hey, let me get your sister's phone number," right? Let me get your sister's
name did you kick?
The plot is thickening. Go ahead.
Because at the time, her business number was an a 1-800 number, and all he had was her home number.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know the 800 number, and she didn't answer her phone. So I said, "Well, call me with her business number, and then I'll call her." So on the way home, he got it and called. And remember the phones called Nextel?
Mm-hmm.
I called them Next Time because they didn't work all the time, right?
They didn't.
Thank you, Ashley. So in him leaving the message, the last 2 digits, I couldn't make it out.
Oh Lord.
So I had to call him back, right?
Okay. We making a U-turn now, ain't we?
So
hey, Frida, we see you making a U-turn here, ain't we?
So I called him back, and you know, I said, "Hey, I got it. The last 2 digits weren't clear. Can I get the 2 digits?" So he gave me the 2 digits, and I was about to hang up. And before he hung up, he was like, "Hey, would it be okay if I call you sometime?" And it came right off my mouth. I said, "Sure." It shocked me, Ashley, because for 4 years, my last relationship before him, it was 4 years. For 4 years prior to him, I was telling everybody, I was like, "Nope, I'm married." Like, I was like, I have this. Like, I was telling them everything in the book because I really didn't want any attention put on me. So, so he said yes. I mean, I said yes, and it kind of went from there, and we became really good friends. And I have to tell this part. So a couple of months had gone past, and I'm like, so I was talking to a girlfriend, and I was like, he's a really good guy. Oh my God, his heart is huge. Oh, he is just everything. I said, but I can't get past the gray hair. He has worms. She said, "Tiffany, he does not have any worms. Stop saying that." So then she proceeds to say, she said, "If you don't want him, send him over here to me." And when she said that, something just kind of rose up. I was like, "Hold on." I was like this, right? Like, I was like this. I was like, "Oh my God." So, like, something rose up in me, and I was like, okay, like, I really have feelings for this guy, you know, and yeah, I mean, it was really, really beautiful because we had he had children. He had 2 girls. He has 2 girls. And he wanted me to meet them, and I was like, "I don't want to meet your girls unless we know we are moving towards marriage." Because I just felt as though it wasn't fair for girls, you know, his girl, kids, period, just to see, you know, women in and out of his life, you know. And so I didn't meet the girls until probably 6 months after knowing him. And and we met the girls. We took them out to you know, lunch and everything, and it was just beautiful. Like, they were happy, you know. So
can I ask a question?
Nope. Say no. Go ahead, baby.
Okay. I'm trying. I mean, I was in the story, but I'm trying to figure out how we done went from. I'm trying to figure out how we done went from worms and gray hair to meeting my, you know, our daughters. I'm just trying to figure that transition here. So now I have an opportunity. I think we got like 15 minutes left or something. So but as I said, I had one word, but I'm gonna say 2 numbers. I'm gonna say 15. She said 2 numbers were missing from the phone, but I'm gonna say 15. What do you think 15 means?
I don't know what 15 means.
15 years together. So you heard the story, worms and this and that, And I always tell her this when she tells the story. Now, I've heard bits and pieces added to it, but I always tell her, I'm here now. So I'm trying to figure out at some point when everything she said, I did ask for gum. I did ask, was anybody sitting not next to her, but in her area? And it was a lot of open chairs.
It was 500 open chairs. It was.
She counted the chairs, so she knows it's 500 chairs. But this is where our, the fact that we're connected here now, almost 15 years later, 12-year-old son, things that we didn't expect. Again, love experience that turned into a love explosion, because all of the things that we have done together, and listen to what she was saying earlier on. Again, it was God ordained, because he brought us together in the same place. And we were able to come together, and it just started from there. And not saying that it was perfect, and not saying that it was always going in the right direction. But to be honest with you, when I stop and think about it, we never really had any challenges. We had life, but we never really had any challenges. And because we do the work, even more so 6 years, 6 years now, it just, makes it even better from what we're doing, now as we show up as a couple.
Did you mean we didn't have challenges?
What do I mean? I mean, you have challenges where you're becoming one. Things that you trying to do together. Some things you try to understand that you can't do, that you may have done when you were single, or when you were, just in a different place in life. Some things just don't work, with somebody that has a different mindset or a different perspective to things.
It was really rough. The first 10 years of our marriage was rough.
Yeah,
it was rough.
I would agree.
And then it didn't shift until we made God front and center of our marriage. That's where the shift came in, because we were moving. Oh my gosh, I can only speak for myself, but I was moving reckless. As far as, having an attitude and just, real mouthy with my husband, tearing him down, just all of that. And I was praying. I was like, God, you need to change him. Lord, change him, Lord. Change him. And God was like, move out the way. And I was like, nah, I had this. I use bad. I got this, God. And God was like, okay, whenever you finish doing what you're doing over there, I'll be right here waiting on you. And I mean, God came in swiftly and just really healed us and just really created love achieved. Like the love we have for one another now. Like, he is my best friend. Period. Like, nobody, like, I put nobody in front of him. Children, parents, nobody, friends, family, nobody comes before my husband, because God clearly gives order. Well, God trumps him first anyway.
Yeah.
It's God first, and then, I make sure that I show up for myself first, because I fought hard for the person you see in front of you today. Like, prior to Rick even getting to me, I had a black cloud over my head. Like, I hated the world. Everything was negative. You didn't see me smiling a whole lot. Like, that isn't me. Like, I have a whole new heart. Like, all of the hardness, all of the, the pain and the, the walls put up, those are no longer there. And then, I had to learn how to allow my husband to rightfully cover me. You know, I had my hands in everything. I see him not doing something the way I wanted him to do it, and I got my hands all over it. You know, and God was like, "Stop! Like, let him do what I created him to do." You know, and then prior to being with him, like I was on my own and I had to do everything by myself, you
Yeah.
know. I had to balance my finances by myself. I had to change my own tires and my oil in my car, and you know, carry the groceries up 3 flights of steps. Like I had to do all of that. And then, you know, God was like, listen, I have provided a husband for you. You can rest in that, you
Yeah.
know. And 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 you know, God told me, and he said, rest and breathe.
Mm.
um
How did he sound?
like
Oh, okay, okay. All right, so I'm gonna jump in here, Ashley. So what Tiff is saying is so true. And then, like I said, the first 10 years of our marriage, um, I spent probably that 10 years trying to get her attention. Like she was saying, because she was so single minded as
Mhm.
far as being strong enough to do, and I love a strong woman, but for me she was running interference. She was running interference in what God intended. Now granted, um God puts men in that position, but only if you know God. And
Yeah.
for us, um you know, when God is first, you'll never be last. And that was the difference for us, definitely in the last 6 years, because so many things that has happened. You know, we go back 10 years, but those 10 years was the foundation that we stand on now. And then the
Mhm.
6 years is all the rooms that we've been building, you
Mhm.
know, on that foundation. We never forget it because we don't want to go back to it, and we
Mhm.
never will, because we're constantly doing the work, you know, whether it's going to marriage retreats or couple, you know, therapy, or just, you know, just we're always seeking to be better,
Mhm.
spiritually, mentally, and physically. And for me,
in that order.
yeah, and
That's
for me,
that's very
that's
important.
that's
Yeah.
where the change came in. And you know, like I said, I spent 10 years trying to get her attention, being myself, then trying to match her crazy, because like she said, you know, very raw, very, you know, she'll say things, and my love language is words of affirmation.
Gotcha.
So words for me is important. So it's how you present it to me. You know, if I feel it, then I know it's something that I'm not going to like, you know,
Yeah.
or something I don't like. And she was very, you know, blunt when it came to things like that. And so instead of bringing it to me, like, you know, I tell all the time, I say, you could get 99% of whatever you want from me based on what you say to me, how you say it, you know. And you can see this beautiful smile here, but trust me, it's fire behind that smile.
I have
And
no clue
that's,
what you're talking about.
yeah, I know she doesn't. So, but yeah, we, you know, like I said, that's where that 10 years of us going through, um, was a hard time or a challenge for us. But again, when I stop and think about it, it wasn't. It was just life we had to go through as we're becoming one, and we're getting even better now. You know, just for the fact that we continue to show up as Team Childs. That's where Team Childs, you know, birthed in, because uh, when we were doing marriage, I found a lot of eyes in the marriage, but there's no eyes in team. And
Mhm.
that's when, you know, I started us calling, you know, with Team Childs started building it in 6 years ago in 2016. And we started flowing like that as a
What happened in
team. In
2016?
2016, oh, we just
Tell them what happened in 2016.
well, 2016, you know, in that 10 years, we were growing together. Literally, we
Literally,
both of us at the time
literally.
was 311 pounds each.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Team- It was
yeah, same weight.
We weighed the same weight at the same time.
That's because we were, like I said, we were courtship, and our courtships was like at every restaurant you could think of. And I wasn't a small guy anyway when we met. So now I done added on to that, and I'm at 311 pounds with a host of health issues, weight related health issues. So that was a problem in our marriage. That she would come to me and tell me, you got to get yourself together. You gotta get the weight off. You have to go to the doctor. You have to do these things. And I just kept on, I just kept it moving, but it was hindering our marriage. It was hindering our relationship with each other. And then the other thing was, because I was going through the pain and the discomfort and everything else that went along with it, it was that noise that was around me that didn't allow me to hear what God had to say to me. So how can you cover if you can't even cover yourself? And that hurt us. So it was just those different things in that 10-year span. And then when I finally decided to stop running and I listened to what she wanted me to do, we never turned around. Team Childs was on. We was on a mission. We don't do goals. We do missions. What we do, we don't quit. We finish. That's what
all right.
But we were able to lose
188
pounds in 7 months together.
7 months
in
together.
7 months.
Yeah, we did
Wow.
it. Yeah, did it at a weight loss boot camp, 20-pound weight loss boot camp every 6 weeks. We did 4 boot camps in a row. We religiously was there. It was just consistency. We followed the process. But the great thing about it actually was, once we lost the weight, we kept it moving. We kept going. Where most people stop and don't know what to do. And this is where, health renewal, this is what we coach is health renewal. This is what started for us, because what we did was not only lose the weight, we learned how to, one, change the dynamic of our whole life. It became a lifestyle. And then it becoming a lifestyle that put us in position to be able to help our son, with his challenges. So it's so many stories here, Ashley, that comes out of the love experience and the beautiful love achieved, because we decided on us. We decided to bet on us. And what changed it for her, because like I said, I did everything that I could to get her attention. And when I really got her attention, she saw me in the kitchen one day before we were gonna go work out, praying. She saw me praying. That was, and I share this with men.
He was actually
that I still do today. That's as soon as my eyes open, I'm in my Bible, and that starts my day. I thank God for waking me up, because He gives us a new day to be the best version of who He created us to be. And for us, that's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. It's the game. It's what works for us and what makes us who we are now.
And life and love is exactly what you make it. So we paint the picture that we want. Like, I was praying a prayer that didn't manifest until 10 years. Could it have manifested earlier? Yeah, but I was in my flesh, but 10 years I prayed for our marriage to actually turn around, and it did. And it's something that both of us we desire it to the core. Like, every day we wake up to become the best version of ourselves. We cannot be selfish. Like, everything that we do, it has strings. So I can go out here and act foolish. That's attached to our children. Everything, like, our health is attached to our children, to our seeds, to even being a good neighbor is attached to our neighbors. So it's like, we fight for our marriage, and it's easy. Like, we really enjoy one another. Y'all already see the way we flow. Like, we just have so much fun together. And it's because we apply all the tools. Like, we are mastering our marriage. Like I am
Mhm.
learning my husband, like studying my husband. I am learning his love language. I am learning his apology styles. But we have an amazing community that we are a part of that help us with that. So we have a spiritual community, journaling community called 12.
12,
It's
12.
right. It's 1212 because they just switched the names over.
Mhm.
1212. And then we have an amazing marriage and parenting community as well that, we are learning and we're reading books and we're communicating and, and it is so beautiful to see growth in our marriages because we choose to do the work. It
Yeah.
is not like it requires work
Yes.
and the work doesn't have to be hard. It's only
Right.
hard if you make it hard. And that's even if the other spouse isn't even on board because you can still live at peace and be at peace even if the other one is acting simple.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, God, that's your child.
Mhm.
That's your child.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, life is good. Like marriage is good. Like I want people to have a hope and know that marriage can be such a beautiful thing because it's
It is. It is.
it's
And
beautiful. It's beautiful now.
yeah.
Yeah. So I want to say real quick.
Mhm.
Well, it's not gonna be real quick, but I want to say, so Rick, I did not forget about you. I had the questions formulating in my mind, so I didn't forget about you.
Okay.
But I'm glad that you jumped in and you shared what you shared because when you see you guys today, you don't think, oh, they had some challenges. You know what I'm saying? Any
Mhm.
pe- I believe, not I like to believe, I believe that every marriage, um, no matter who it is, you experience challenges.
Mhm.
One, because I see it, two, because I know for myself, and three, because you got two people who
Hmm.
are totally different coming
Mhm.
together in one union. And you have different lifestyles, everything is different. So you have to learn what it's like to be married. And there's a difference between just being fiance or girlfriend, living together, and then once you guys get married, it's a totally
Mhm.
different ball game. People
Yes.
don't believe that, but it's a totally different ball game because it's something different. It's a covenant that has been created. Once you say your vows, it's a covenant. And you guys have chosen to keep that covenant. Now, what I want to ask is during the first 10 years, during the first 10 years, what made you not quit?
Listen, listen. I was gone. I had signed on the dotted line. I was going to rent out a basement apartment.
Mm,
Um, and both of us worked at night. So I worked at night and it was my weekend to work. I work at the hospital.
Mhm.
And it was a doctor that I used to work for years ago.
mhm,
And um and I hadn't spoke to her in years. And she
Mhm.
called me out the blue on a Thursday. It was Thursday. She calls me and she's from Pakistan, right? And I love her. And she has this high pitched voice. She said, Tiff. I said, hey. She was like, Tiff, I bought some tickets for you. Like she was so excited on the phone. And she was like, I purchased tickets for you and Rick. And we weren't even talking.
okay.
We were going to go and liquefy our bank account Monday. Like
Okay. So
I was
y'all was there
done.
there.
I was done. So and and let me pause the story for a minute. One of my girlfriends had a talk with me and she said, Tiff, like, what's going on? And I was like, He won't take the trash outside during the day. I'm scared somebody might beat him. Like I just kept saying, I was piling on all the things up, right? And she sat there and she listened to me. She listened to me. And she said, Tiff, she said, everything that you're talking about is really small, little things. And she was like, you're leaving your marriage because of these little things. Not saying that they are important things. And, but she was like, Tiffany, I'm the first out of our group that got a divorce. And she was like, fight for your marriage. That's what she said, but I still didn't listen. I was like, I'm but when God have a purpose for your life, there's nothing that you can't run from God. There's nothing you can do, right? So the doctor calls and she's like, Tiffany, I bought these tickets, and I was like, we can't go. And she was like, is Rick there? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, ask him. And I said, Rick, she wants to know, can we go to this concert or show or something? And Rick was like, nah, I don't want to go. And I said, nah, he don't want to go. I don't want to go. And she was like, no, I'm going to leave him at will call. Think about it. So I hung up the phone. Friday came, Saturday came. I went to work Saturday night, got off Sunday morning. Came when I got home, he's standing in the doorway. And I'm like, why is he standing in the doorway? So when I walk up to the door, he's like, hey, so let's go to that thing. Like, we don't even know what it is. Like, let's go to that thing, it starts at 3. Go ahead and take your shower. I made your breakfast, and I'm looking at him like, oh, so what is he about to do? Poison me? Like,
I knew you were going to say that.
I done turned the bed down. Like, go ahead, like, hurry up and eat and get in bed and get your rest, because you have to be back at work at 7. So we had to drive 2 cars. So we go to this thing, we get to the building, and we walk in the door, and there's a banner up. And what's the guy's name? What's the guy that
Kirk Cameron?
Kirk Cameron, the one that does what's the
Fireproof?
Movie? Yes. Fireproof. It said, "Love we're fighting for." And we looked at each other. I rolled my eyes. I said, "You gotta be kidding me." So we go, and I'm telling you, the words was cutting the words were cutting deep. Like, everything was like for us, and we were like, we had the ugly cry, y'all. Like, shaking, like all it, like ugly cry. And we were just so broken on that day. We oh my God, we were so broken. And God spoke to both of us, both of our spirits, and we just got this new fire in us, and we just wanted to fight. We just wanted to fight at that point. And that was our turning point. And God told me to trust, rest and breathe. And I understood the rest part, because he was telling me to allow Rick to cover me and take my hands off of everything and stop trying to do everything. I was doing the most, for real, actually, doing the absolute most. And I didn't understand it until one night I was able to lay my head on the pillow. And I said, Lord, in this moment, I feel covered in every area of my life where it comes to my husband. Like, I know he has me in every area. Like, he just got me. And for the first time, I was able to really rest in God and just breathe because I was like, I don't need a man. I mean, sexually, I needed a man, I really needed a man. But but I'm so silly. But for the first time in my life as a married woman, like I let go and I breathed, you know, for the very first time. And I would do it all over again. Like, you know, I'm in this to win this.
Yeah, yeah. And,
But
and, and
yeah,
you know,
I would do it all over again. I'm
and
sorry.
as you hear this, Ashley, one of the things that we were dealing with, and I know for Tiff that we didn't hear was that she was trying to control a lot of things that didn't belong to her. You know, um, I'm still trying to figure out to this day, does she have like a trash can gene in her or something like that? Because she worries about putting the trash cans out. Are they right? That's my job. Now my son's job, but that's our job. And she's always concerned about those things. So that 10-year period was about controlling different things that didn't require her to control. We were talking about that earlier about how she's in the chat, how she's this and that, because she, like I said, a lot of times she's aware of different things, but doesn't mean you always have to say something, doesn't mean you always have to be a part of it. Sometimes you just have to be quiet. And that's where she started learning, because God can't do what he needs to do if you keep interfering. And that's what she was doing. She was interfering in me learning how to cover. Even if you don't agree with the things that I'm doing or what I want to do, let me do it, because that's the only way I'm going to learn. That's the only way we're going to grow together. So, we went through those things, and I would tell her all the time, you can't be the king and the queen. You can't be. You got to choose one. And
I'm the queen.
and I know that,
I won't
baby,
be
you
that
do it
though.
well. So, and that's what I wanted her to do. I wanted her to live and be in her flamingo queen all day, every day.
Nah, no.
No, yeah, I do,
You don't want
because
me in my
I
flamingo
spent,
all day. I'm not.
actually, I
I
spent 10
promise you.
years softening her up, okay? Because she grew up with three brothers. So, and I joke with all the time with her parents, who I love dearly, that she was the fourth son, you know. And this was because I challenged her, because I didn't take what other men took from her. That's where we was always continually butting heads, for that 10 years. And when she said she was ready to go, okay, I wasn't even thinking about it, because I knew God had us and had a plan for us. And I wasn't going to give up, at that point. And I knew that there were things in place for us to do. And it just proves the fact that we're sitting here right now in front of you, that we have um, a mission. We have a mission. And our mission is to show up as two people that are totally different from each other. And she hates to hear me say that, but we are.
We are different.
We are different. I mean,
I
we
don't
could be
hate to hear
talking
you
about the
say that.
same thing and still not be talking about the same thing. It's easy for us to butt heads on every and anything. But we've learned to navigate those things. We've learned to understand each other.
We just
We
have
know who we are.
Yeah, like just like Rick said, like we could be saying the same thing but interpreting it different. And it's just asking deeper questions and being patient to allow the other person to
Mhm.
really explain how they heard what was being said. So that is one of the tools that has been able to help us navigate in our communication.
Mhm.
But um, actually, just what you do and your platform, like you are such a blessing to people and relationships and marriages.
Mhm.
Like it is so important to have an Ashley J in your life, just to help you maneuver, like having community is where it's at. I mean, it's a cliche, community where it's at, but having a community to help you win is, that's a powerful thing,
It is.
it's so powerful. So, we are just honored just to be here, um, on your platform, and just what you do and stand for is such a blessing. It's a blessing to the kingdom. It's a blessing just to relationships, period, as a whole. And just thank you for what you do, because you add so much value.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to share as far as, having an Ashley J.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I've been hearing it quite frequently lately. So thank you. Y'all don't know what it's doing, but thank you. So, okay, let me say this real fast. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and get them in now. Because time is ticking away. If you want your question or answered, or you want to see your comment across the screen, you need to go ahead and submit it. Okay. So I thank you guys so much for your transparency and just for being yourselves, because I'm sure that everybody that's watching and those who will watch later, they can see the connection between you guys. They can see how the hard work is paying off. Like y'all doing all of the things that is so important for marriages to succeed. I can definitely identify being at a place of being done. I'm not shy about saying this. My husband and I, we talked about getting divorced quite a few times in the beginning of our marriage. But every time we talked about it, God would be like, "You're not leaving. You gotta stay. Y'all are supposed to be here together." So I understand what it's like to, have to fight through that, even when you don't feel like fighting through it. When the fight is all out of you, I know what it is to be on my knees crying and asking God, please, like you need to do something to him. And then God be like, but what we gonna do about you?
Yep.
Like
Yes.
all it
It was
like
always. Mhm, mhm.
absolutely, like yeah, I know all about that. So just to see how well you guys are doing, even when you guys were growing together, and then when you were growing together, you also lost together. Like that
Yes.
is amazing. And if nothing else shows your connection, to me, that does. And I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm looking at it with a different eye. I'm looking at it not just with my spiritual eye, but my therapy eye. When people can do that type of stuff together, it shows connection. It shows like regardless of what you guys think is happening, you are connected. And it's evident in the fact that you gained the same amount of weight, and or you weighed the same, and you lost the weight and you guys lost the same amount. Like that is way bigger than anything else to me. That's to me. So that's amazing. That's amazing, because you can't get couples to say, okay, we're going to do this thing together. You cannot.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So to see that you guys did that and saw new life after that is beautiful.
Yeah, like I thank God each day, because I lost 66 pounds and Rick lost 122 pounds. He lost a whole person, a
Yeah.
whole grown adult person. And that brought such a newness to us. Like we had to really relearn each other. We had to take the time to really, and we we literally took our time
Mhm.
to because losing that much weight does something mentally to a person as well. You
Mhm.
know, just the way they think, the way they move, the way they talk, like all of that was just totally different.
Mhm.
And um and and like Rick said, when he lost, he was able to get all of the negative noise he was hearing
Mhm.
out of his head so that he can move in the way God wanted him to move. But us just saving our family. He was able to come off all his medications, and
Wow.
stuff is non-treatable. Like it's like God has really been moving in our lives.
Yeah, but but also too, as and what I want to say too, with for this journey for us, it put us in a place where when we had the hard decision to make, and it was with our son.
Yeah.
So at the time, our when our son was not even born,
Yeah.
we were told that we had issues, that he wouldn't make it.
The doctor said abort.
Yeah. And
Really?
so
And
that's
I
why
was
we
like,
call him our miracle.
yeah,
He's our miracle
he's our miracle
because he
baby.
wasn't, yeah. So, but even after we chose not to, and we brought him into this world, he had some challenges, and those challenges caused us to go through a lot of different things that could have broke us up. For me, I was in denial with some of the things that we were dealing with, and
Mhm.
I tell people all the time, my wife, she was the spearhead. She was the one that fought for him. And when we did finally find out what was going on with him, you know, a decision had to be made for him, whether we were going to put him on pharmaceuticals, because he needed that.
Mhm.
And this was being told by his doctor.
Mhm.
And because if we weren't in the place that we were in physically, in the work that we had done physically, we wouldn't have been able to make that decision and say no to the pharmaceuticals. And we treated what we needed with him to help him with his challenges, um, through nutrition. But we
Mhm.
wouldn't have been able to do that because we were stressed out. We were going through, and it's been easy for us to say, hey, give us the prescription.
Yeah.
But this was like what, 5 years ago, and we've been winning ever since. Straight A student. I mean, and this is the thing that we teach people, we coach people about how key nutrition is to everything that you're dealing with. Most doctors, when you go to a doctor, they don't ask you what did you eat.
No, they don't.
They just look at the
Mhm.
symptoms and say, hey, take this prescription.
Yeah.
And that's what's helped us to be able to, one, once we lost the weight, and then we had the mindset, this is going to become a lifestyle for us, and we're going to change, everything that we can in our household, and how we eat and how we move and the water we drink. We keep moving, we keep doing all these things, to help us. But what
Mhm.
it's doing is it's helping our marriage. And it's also showing people, because people are watching, people see what you do. And this is how we show up. And that's why we always show up like what you saw us do in the beginning, the
Mhm.
teen trials. That's what we do all the time because that's who we are. This is how we navigate life together. And it's times where we don't always show up happy.
Yeah.
We'll, Tip and I have this thing where, am I the 8-year-old or is she the 4-year-old? And what that means is, for me, at 8 years old, I had a traumatic situation with my stepfather where, he verbally abused me.
Mhm.
And that verbally abuse caused me to be able to kind of go back within myself and not understand that I'm healing, and I'm healing because of the community that I'm in, because of the things that I've experienced and the people that's in my life. And that has helped me. And it's
Mhm.
helped me in a way that now I know how to be a better husband, to be a better father, to be a better son, brother, all of those things, because I know who I am,
Mhm.
and I know that I can be vulnerable. I can be transparent. I can cry in front of a man and not feel bad about it, where I didn't used to, you
Yeah.
know.
You see you cry.
Let me cry,
Say no, no,
man.
no, no,
Let me
no.
cry. the double kid now, baby. Yeah, but yeah, it's just so many. That's why I said when people hear our story, Ashley, they hear the outside story, but there's so much inside that we went through and changed, and it was all God. It was all
Yeah.
God. He hides you until He's ready for you. Until He's ready for those gifts to shine and show. So, I just thank God, and I thank my wife, for believing in me and pushing me, because she stayed on my back, to go to this a weight loss boot camp. I fought her tooth and nail, but then when I went and I listened and I saw what was going on, and I never looked back. I never looked back, and it's just been a blessing for our marriage and for our family.
And I know in the beginning I talked about the gray hair.
It wasn't
But
that gray then,
but,
so I don't know what you're talking about,
but
Ashley.
age is truly a number.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Age is truly a number. Like we have literally reversed
The clock.
the clock. We literally
Wow.
reversed
Yeah.
the clock, like, you know. Um
You want to tell her how old I am?
you
I was
know
going to ask, are you older than Tiffany?
oh
Yes,
he
yes.
is.
I'm about
He a
what?
whole lot
I'm
older than
about I'm
me.
about 11. I'm about 11 years
No,
older
baby,
than
it's
her.
12.
Is 11. So Ashley, I'm 59. So
Okay.
yeah, and trust me, it wasn't intentional. I wasn't looking to rob the cradle or anything like that. Like I said, when God tells you, to move, you move. So, but again,
Wow.
11 years difference, not 12.
That's that's not too bad. My husband and I are 8 years apart. So
But I would think Rick was 30.
yeah, I don't
I
see
would think he was
59.
like he had went to what was that? Paintball.
Paintball. Oh
It was
yeah.
the older guys against the younger guys, and he ran circles. I said, go ahead.
Hey, that's nutrition and movement.
Crawling on the ground, flipping around, and so I said,
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to talk to y'all another time about nutrition.
yes, we
Oh,
are
yeah.
here. We are here, and we have a charge from God to move in this area of
Yes.
health renewal, and it's a passion
Mhm.
of it- it's a passion, and we just want to see other people win, and get their life back and make their quality of life the best that they possibly can.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it's no turning back. Like, yeah. So I know people probably have questions. Our son, he has autism, sensory processing disorder, and
Mhm.
he could not sit
Yeah.
still. He could not. He was a runner. He would elope. We was getting phone calls from the school every day, and you know we had to change our lifestyle. Like, we had to literally shut our life down just so that our son can live and live and have hope and stuff like that. And my prayer, and I was like, God, either heal him miraculously or tell us what we need to do. So then we had to educate ourselves, and nutrition, that gut health is
Yeah.
everything.
Mm. Yeah.
That gut health is everything. So God told us we had to attack it there. We had to take him off of the processed foods. We had to take him off of the
Red dyes,
the dyes and
yeah,
stuff like that. Like,
sugar,
it's
all that.
all of that. And
Mhm.
and he is able to win today. Like, he's a straight A student. He is
Mhm.
able to sit for instruction for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we couldn't get that,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
prior to then. So yeah,
We was
oh,
dealing with
absolutely.
meltdowns and all of
Nutrition,
everything.
herbal plants,
Yeah.
we do it all.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
and he he is winning today, you know. So we are trying to set him up to be successful later on, because out the things we do has strings.
Yeah.
It has strings attached, you know, and you know, God tells us we should be good stewards over the things that he leaves in our hand, and that's our children, that's our health, that's our spiritual life, that's our physical life, that's our mental life, you know, and you know, I want to hear, you know, well done, daughter, you know. So I take these things serious, and yeah, we just want to be a blessing. We just want to move in our lane, you know, and be spirit led and move when God tells us to move,
Oh
talk,
yeah,
speak, whatever,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. God blesses you. You can't be quiet with it.
No
You
way.
can't
Be
keep it to
quiet with it.
yourself. You can't.
Mm-mm.
And we're so adamant about that because again, we hear the stories of other families going through with their children, and some of the things that we hear, the thing that pops in our head is the nutrition.
Mm.
What is it, just and just those types of changes, people wouldn't think that, but so much has come through what we have done, and I can share that on another level, but that made the difference for me as a child. 50
Mm.
years later, I realized the things that that I can't eat now was the same things I was eating as a child, which caused
Oh, wow.
me to be overweight all my life. Had that type of challenge. So just learning that and understanding that, and if you teach other people that, and it has to start with the parents, because the parents are the ones that are feeding the kids. They're the ones that's giving them the processed food,
Yeah.
the sippy cups with sugar in it all day long, and all that. And when they understand that those things are happening, and it goes back to the love. It goes back, you asked about the love experience. That's our love experience, making sure that we're taking care of each other. It starts with Tiff and I, but like I said, it goes to our children.
Yeah.
And because we don't necessarily always have to point out to them what we do, they see what we do. you know
Yes.
our son sees what we do. We've taught him how to take care of his own nutrition and cook for himself, and know what things will help him and work. He's very dependent. He's very independent, and
Mm.
that's what we want.
Yeah.
Because we want him to be that statistic that's always being shown on the news,
Yeah.
because of misunderstanding and not knowing. So
Yeah.
And it's funny that he say that, because my
mm,
family jokes and they say we can't go over to their house for Thanksgiving
it's-
because we aren't cooking all of the things, you know. We
Yeah.
yeah,
we aren't doing that. They like,
yeah,
yeah. They
yeah.
said
Her family from the south,
they
so
said if
they.
you ever pull up over our house, I promise you there will always be a salad in the refrigerator.
Mm,
They talk about me too, that I eat trees and leaves and everything.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's so
Well,
much.
I thank you guys. Do you have anything else that y'all want to say before we wrap up?
I would say I would do it all over again.
Mhm.
And I would encourage those, reach out to Ashley so that she can help you maneuver through
Mhm.
if y'all are having challenges, because again, having community is so important. It's so important, and because that can be a safe space.
Yeah.
And we need to normalize, getting assistance or help.
Yeah,
um we keep it in rotation, I promise you.
yeah.
We at
That's
therapy all the time.
Yeah.
that's good.
They on speed dial.
Yeah, when things are good. Yeah, I mean, and we call it marriage tune-ups. That's
Yeah.
it's even when things are good, because
Mhm.
we can, be in disagreement about someone, but you need someone that's not that's impartial. You need someone that's not family. You need someone that's not close friends, because they have your vested interests.
Yeah.
So we don't work in that realm. We go to someone that's going to listen to both of us. We're constantly in groups, professional development groups, and we depend on those tools. We live and use them all day, every day, all day. I mean,
Yeah.
love languages, temperaments, all of those things.
Apology styles.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
y'all know that's a thing?
Yes.
That come correct with your apologies. I'm telling you.
Do you guys use I think it's Love Nudge, the app Love Nudge?
Never heard of that. What's that?
It's
Let me
an
write this
app
down.
for
Y'all better write this
couples.
down. She dropping nuggets. Okay. Love
It's
Nudge.
an app for cousins, Lord. An app for couples where every day the app will remind you to do something that according to your spouse's love language. You take the quiz and everything before you get to make your profile. And it reminds you to do the stuff. Like, did you say words of affirmation to Rick today? Or, whatever. It does that. It's a love language.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And another thing that I wanted to say, that is very important to, I want to say this to the women. Uh, it's okay to let your significant other, your spouse, your boyfriend, however you want to term it, let them know what it is that you need from them.
Oh yeah.
Because the other person cannot, well, not just with like every relationship, you can even apply this at the job or whatever, but people cannot read your mind.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I make it a point if there's something that I need from Rick that I let him know, because if I want flowers to come to my job, I'm like, babe, I need you to send me flowers on Friday to my
Yes.
job.
Yes.
And that is okay, and it's still romantic. So what, it came from me, but he's not thinking about, you want to what Friday I'm gonna go ahead and send Tiff flowers to her job. Like, normalize that,
Yeah.
because everything is so fairy tale. Like,
Yeah.
he don't love me because he didn't do this. You should have known. Not all the time.
Right.
He is not always on my page, and I'm not always on his page, and that's vice versa as well. You 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 need something? You need something from me?
No, I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good.
Yes,
It is.
yes,
It is.
Wanda Floyd. It is okay to make suggestions or requests. Thank you for that.
It
Thank
absolutely is. Because, like Tiffany said, our spouses are not mind readers, just like we can't read their minds.
you.
Think about it for yourself. If you don't know what's going on in their mind, he doesn't know what's going on in yours. I ask Tariq all the time, so what you thinking about? I get on his nerves asking him all the time, but I just want to know what you thinking about. What's on your mind? I see you staring off in space. What's happening? I ask him.
Yeah.
Just because if it's something I can help you with, tell me. Don't hide it.
Right.
Yes. So, all right, y'all. We could talk all night. But
Oh,
we
I can talk all night.
oh yeah.
What else y'all want to talk about? They're like, girl, if you don't end that call.
we gotta end it. But I really do appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go over a couple comments. Let me find some good ones. Good evening to everybody that is watching. Thank you guys all for watching us. Also, if you go through the comments, you will see the link for Team Childs. It's a link tree link. Click on it, go see what they got going on, and see how you can support them. I added it twice, so y'all should see it. All right, let me see. Let me see.
We appreciate that, Ashley. And again, thank you. We are honored, so honored to
Very.
be here.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate y'all being here. Okay, wait a minute. I got a comment down here. Okay, this was uh, my future guys have given me hope. Okay,
Oh,
Oh,
thank you, Colleen.
and
oh
then
yeah.
this one says this was so enjoyable and a blessing. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Yes. Thank you.
All
Thank
right, what's
You
this?
have a wonderful with audience.
you.
Well, I like them to stay interactive. They know that. I so appreciate this because we've been conditioned to believe if you have to suggest it, didn't really want to do it. That is so true, or doesn't love you. That is
So
so
true.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. You're
Um,
welcome.
Oh, you're very
Everyone's
welcome.
welcome. This has been really great. I had a
I'm
good
so
time.
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah. She didn't flamingo out on me either, too. So early
If
on,
you're If
Lynn.
y'all want to know, okay, so this is from the DISC assessment, flamingo. That is one of the DISC assessment characteristics,
Mm.
and that is just someone who is very extroverted.
Yes.
That's pretty much what it is. I
Mm.
know y'all probably like, what is that? Why he keep calling her a flamingo?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Colleen made a suggestion, comment, and she said, "You guys have given me hope for my
Yeah.
future." And like I said, like I wasn't even looking. I was
Mm.
minding my business and content as all get out.
Mm.
And it was just divine. Like God spoke to me and was
Mm.
like, "You're gonna meet who I've chosen for you."
Mm.
And saying that just kind of gives me chills because I was gonna walk away from it.
Mm,
You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
like, wow, I almost walked away
Yeah.
yeah.
You did. You
from
almost
this.
did.
And
So I don't know, Ashley, if you have a little bit more time. So I just want to know that there was a U-turn somewhere earlier on.
you breaking
So
up.
yeah, I'm breaking up.
Uh,
So remember, I left a message and she said that two numbers didn't come through. Um,
Yes.
so it kind of sounds like she was interested and she changed because
no.
she didn't add the part in
Mm-mm.
when we were talking.
No, like honestly, I was
Mhm.
not. I literally thought you had worms, like for real. I literally thought he had worms, and I probably need to stop saying that. Should I stop saying that, community?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I thought he had worms. Drop it in the chat.
And I'm gonna say 15 years later, and she ain't found out if I got worms yet.
You
So I'm
don't,
trying to figure out which one. It's just
you don't
like,
have worms, baby.
oh, okay,
But
thank you, thank you.
um,
Yeah.
but what I was gonna say
Mm,
was literally I had shut I
mm,
had shut my heart off. And when you said, "Can I call you some? Would it be okay if I call you sometime?" Like, yes came right out. It wasn't.
how fast did it go like that?
It came right
It
out
just
to
came
the
right.
point that um it literally scared me because for
Mm,
4 years, got guys would try to holler at me,
mm,
talk to me, or however y'all want to word that.
Say it the way you want to.
Right. So I will always tell them no.
mm,
I will
Mm,
always tell them no. And for me to just say it now, I do want to say when we were at the uh uh real
first.
estate place, we were talking, and
mm,
in the short time that I did talk with him, I could tell he had a beautiful heart.
mm,
Mm,
So it was his heart. It was your heart. It was his
mm,
heart, and he just seemed like a really beautiful and nice person, even though I didn't know him. But I wasn't like, oh yeah, this gonna be my man, because like I said, y'all already shared why,
Yeah,
but
y'all gonna have to go. You're gonna have to watch the replay so you can catch all of that in the beginning.
there's a story about the worms for those who did not hear it earlier, but definitely go back and check out the replay.
Yeah, and y'all will hear the U-turn here and there too. So go back to the replay.
But I knew there was something, because first of all, Rick, out of, as you say, the 500 chairs that was open,
It was probably 1,000 chairs. Now that I think about it.
out of all of the chairs that were open, he came to sit next to you. So he obviously seen something, because at that point he only saw the outside. So he seen something about you that made him want to get next to you. And then he kept talking to you throughout the seminar.
Like,
can I get some gum? And you giving him the whole pack, because leave me alone.
It was funny because at our wedding, the little gifts we have, it was gum. It was gum. It was a picture wrap, but it was based around gum. So no ma'am, Colleen, no ma'am.
Well, you know what we do, but
only on the health side, like
on the health side, but we have we entertain. So in entertaining, I would say that's like our ministry.
We don't coach couples per se, but we do. Oh my God,
we coach couples by how we walk. Yeah,
so
how we walk.
We create. I forgot about that. So yeah, we create experiences at our home. So my husband is known as the air fry king. So he generally like cooks, and then we have different things like it is theme, but it's games and stuff, but it's also where we can encourage marriages to stick together, to jail, just stuff like that. So we don't coach per se, but we will have a small sect of couples, and God tells us who to invite, because we will actually pray to God and like, God, who should the couples be this time? And all of this was pre-COVID. We haven't done it again, but as far as coaching, no, but we just give our testimony, and just we just give our testimony, and we encourage, find a therapist. That's how we do it, because we have therapists and we have a community that we have to stay connected to,
that we're accountable to
on purpose, because we want this thing to work. Like we don't want to
disobey
let
God.
it fizzle.
Yeah, we don't. We're following the path that He's given us, and that's what we do. We enjoy doing things together, and we enjoy, like I said, entertaining, couples in a way that, like I said, we're not teaching, but we're just flowing.
And we like having fun. Like
y'all can't tell that by now. You ain't paying attention.
So
you gonna have a good
put it in the chat who's the funniest. So if y'all want to do that, that works for me. So, but yeah, we just enjoy it. I'm still waiting for us to show up again as the San Pedros. So we did this thing.
Oh Lord, stop.
Nah, I know she done that time. So, but yeah, we do all the, it's just like I said, it's our ministry, but it's something that we enjoy doing, and it's, I guess we're coaching. I don't know. It's
well, I like that idea. That's a really great idea. that you
Same.
guys do? I like that. Is that once a year or how do y'all do it?
We would do it like we was on it like every 2 months or so.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Mhm.
There is a particular question in the comments for y'all.
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Who's your auntie?
Auntie
Yeah,
L.
Auntie L. Yes.
Hi, Auntie.
Yes.
Okay.
Auntie L. I just lit up. Oh my, can my
Uh-huh.
smile get any bigger?
Colleen wanted to know, do you guys give couples advice? But I think that you just answered that talking
Mhm.
about the experiences that you guys have every 2 months.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And Nicole said, hi, Nicole. Nicole said
Oh,
that, yeah, events are lovely.
Mhm. Yes. Thank
All
you,
right,
Nicole.
y'all. So, any closing remarks? Martha, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, I just
What?
want to say again, Ashley,
that's
thank
an
you
inside joke.
for
Okay.
Martha. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Don't worry about that.
Don't.
I gotta say this one, and then I'll let you go. So when we went to
But it's her show.
so we went to Philadelphia. We went to Philadelphia. We're on the train. So again, we're gonna go back to the chat and being in control and always doing the things. So we're on the train, and this is what I go through sometimes. So we're on the train, and the conductor comes by. He checks our ticket. He puts a little ticket over top of us. He's
Mhm.
about 2 seats
No,
down.
no, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was
This
right
is my
behind us.
story. He was about 2 seats down, and she's gonna stop him. And you got all these people on the train. She's gonna stop him and say, "So what happens if they
If
say if
somebody
somebody
move-
take the ticket?
Yeah,
If somebody move
somebody
the ticket
move our
like
ticket.
that?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "We back in the airport again." And I'll tell you that story too. So
No,
then, so then then the conductor turns around, and this is the nicest way you can tell somebody to mind their business. He said, "Ma'am, don't worry about that." I said, "I'm putting that on the t-shirt." And that's what I said the whole time. So when she put her nose in or something, I said, "Tiff, don't worry about that." The nicest way you could tell somebody to mind their
Oh my God, my
business. When he
cheeks hurt.
said that, I was like,
My cheeks hurt. Oh my God.
So
My cheeks.
That is funny. That is
uh,
funny. Don't worry about that.
Colleen asked the question, please, are you willing to just talk to me one time? Yes, Colleen, there's a link that actually
I'll put it in there again.
there just click on the link and you can set up a free 15-minute consultation with us. And then we can go from there.
Yes.
We hope this helps.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Rick tells me don't worry about that, and we just bust out laughing. But it sets me up too. So I love it. I love it. Like so that's making experiences that works. You know.
Mhm. That is funny. Don't worry about that. So we got a request. Please do this again. They want y'all to come back. And we already talked about it. We already said we'll have another a part 2. So don't worry about that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We can come back.
Oh, most
I'm just
definitely,
curious,
man.
but
What curious about what?
so what's the topic do they want us to talk about?
We just talk. See,
What
don't worry
y'all
about
want?
that.
What
Don't
y'all
worry
want?
about
Don't worry
that.
about that.
Don't worry about
What
that.
y'all want to
Yeah,
talk
see,
about?
she doing your job now, Ashley. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
My cheek literally hurt.
We just gonna show up and let it flow. That's how where you just heard Ashley tell you. You know what I mean, Ashley? I'm surprised she ain't in there typing that to you right now.
So listen, y'all, we talked about it. We're gonna arrange something for them to come back. And let me see what else. If if y'all want to be where Team Childs is, listen, all you gotta do is DM me, email me, Ashley at isashlyj.com, and I will set you up with a date, and you know the time. So y'all just come on and be a guest on the Love Experience show.
Yes.
I appreciate you all for watching and supporting us through this episode. When they come back, y'all bring a whole bunch of people with you, okay? Y'all
Yeah.
bring people so everybody can hear and see Team Childs live and in color and hear the great stories that they have to tell, all of that, y'all. Okay. So so there's only one thing left to say, y'all. And don't forget to go to itsashleyj.com and get your Love Experience gear as well. But there's only one thing to say, y'all, and that is, what is your love experience? I will see you next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. See y'all later.